Today on Wylde On Health, obesity is on the rise. Families across this country are stressed out and eating their way to early graves.
My biggest fear would be dying.
You are a ticking time bomb.
Bryce Wylde's prescription to reverse your risk fast.
I've got a plan to get all of you back on track.
1 hour full of simple steps to reduce your stress now.
I don't see any time for you.
Plus, we've got an appointment with Dr. Oz. That's coming up next.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Well, today we're talking about the obesity epidemic. The obesity epidemic facing this country and how we can get our health back on track one family at a time. Did you know approximately 1 in 4 Canadians are obese? That's neck and neck with American statistics. Families across Canada are struggling with their weight, and the Houston family from Ajax, Ontario reached out to us. They desperately needed our help, and here's why.
My name is Angela McGurk-Hewson. I'm 42 years old. I've been married to my husband, Scott Hewson, for 10 years now. When Scott and I realized we were going to have some trouble conceiving a child, we went to an IVF clinic. And the first thing the doctor told me was that I had to lose weight to increase my chances of conceiving. And I overcame the odds. We had a 30% chance of having 1 baby, and I ended up conceiving 3 healthy, beautiful girls. Our life has changed completely since the girls have arrived. We gotta get our teeth brushed. I gotcha. Our typical day starts at about 6:30. They're running around crazy. If one of them doesn't want to get dressed, then you can guarantee the 2 of them don't want to get dressed, so that can be very, very challenging. How many people does it take to get triplet stress? We bring them downstairs, we roll into breakfast for the girls. That is very time-consuming and challenging at times to get them all seated. Charlie, can you come sit in your seat, please? What is it that you want? Mini wheats too? Of course, we're all having mini wheats again. No, we're not healthy. I'm not drinking enough water. I'm not eating good food. I'm not eating on a regular basis. As you can see, we've been up since 6. They've had breakfast. They've had a snack. We're on to lunch, and I still haven't eaten anything. And I've drank that much coffee that I actually probably feel sick. So I recognize the fact that I'm not healthy and I'm not eating well, and I know that I'm not feeding my husband any good food either.
Hi, babe. I'll get ready for work.
Okay. It's terrible for Scott because I'm so busy. He's used to me preparing all the meals. So really, he just gets up, he eats Raisin Bran after we get the kids fed.
Well, this is my early brunch dinner, all in one. And
he gets ready for work, he's out the door, and then he eats fast food.
Can I have 1 plain toasted bagel with butter, please? Yep. 1 large coffee, double with milk.
My stress level's through the roof. Oh, this laundry never ends, it never ends. I think the stress is making me even more tired. I think it's affecting my body because I know that all my joints are sore and my neck's sore and my body's sore, but I have to keep moving. I have to keep going for the girls. I can't carry both of you. I've struggled with my weight most of my life, and I haven't been able to lose the weight after pregnancy, and I'm the heaviest I've ever been. If I don't make a change, I don't think that I'm going to be the mother I would want to be. I don't think that I'm going to be able to run around with my kids. I don't think that. I don't think that I'll be around for a long time. I think the exhaustion is going to take over, and it has to change, and I'm going to make it change for them. And I really hope Bryce can help me with it.
Please welcome Angela and Scott Hewson, everybody. I feel it, and I'm right there with you. What was going through your mind when you watched that back?
It's really hard to see the struggle of a day in my life and knowing that I need to do better.
So, do you think that you're at your heaviest weight right now? Do you feel like that's the biggest burden, quite literally, physically?
Yeah, I know I'm at my heaviest, and it's not helping all the other stresses in my life.
For sure. So
Absolutely.
you're realizing that the stress and weight and all these different things are really playing a role.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah. What are your stresses?
Well, being a mom of triplets.
That's pretty stressful. I can tell you what. I mean, I've got two of my own, so I understand it to a degree. To a 2/3 of a degree. Scott, it's got to be really stressful for you as well. I mean, Angela's not the only one in this, right?
Yeah, I work afternoon shifts, so I find it hard to see Angela struggle at night time with the kids. Feed them, bath them, put them to bed. I wish I was home for that, but I'm not. So that's hard to see.
Well, you guys are a busy family. You got to do what you have to do, and you guys are both bringing home the dough. And so, is overwhelming a good word to use here? Would you guys suggest it's overwhelming?
Absolutely overwhelming. Yeah.
Okay.
Just trying to get it all done in a day.
Yeah.
Stress and obesity is a big problem, and we have to learn how to take control. But not just to control it, we have to learn how to manage it a lot better, right? What are some of the ways you think intuitively come to mind in terms of being able to manage your stress better?
I'm going to start eating healthier for a start.
Yeah.
That's number one. Right.
I'll tell you what, that's why we have a specialist right here in our audience, okay? Stress and obesity specialist, Dr. Sanjeev Sharma is with us in the audience today. Dr. Sharma, thanks so much for being here. What's the latest information you can share with the Houston family as it relates to stress and how it plays a big role and an impact on our health?
Thank you for having me. The reality is there's a tremendous amount of evidence that chronic stress, the kind of stress you guys are going through, which is daily, day in, day out, does lead to long-term health effects, negative health effects, because of hormonal changes inside your bodies.
And a lot of us, when we are stressed out, we crave bad foods. Walk us through the chemistry. What is that? Why is that happening in our body?
Well, as your stress levels go up, there's a hormone called cortisol, and your body's releasing more cortisol from your adrenals. So people have heard of adrenal fatigue. That cortisol makes you crave food, and in particular, high-carb food, high-fatty food, which, again, is not good for your weight or your blood pressure and all the other causes of health disease.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I'll go for coffee with sugar or chocolate or carbs. Yeah, anything quick and easy as well.
Dr. Sharma, is this causing long-term effects as well? It's not just a quick craving, we go to our wrong foods, but is this playing a role in our bodies over the long term?
Unfortunately it is, and the reason is you're putting on weight, and you're putting it on typically around your abdomen, and that kind of weight is different. It affects your blood pressure, it affects how you handle sugar, insulin, increases the risk of diabetes, which leads eventually to stroke and cancer and heart disease. So there is a long-term risk here.
So, Dr. Sharma, let me ask you one more question here. What are your biggest worries for the Houston family right now?
Well, you've got two issues here. One, you've got chronic stress, and you need a plan, I think, to deal with that. And if you don't, your dependents, the kids who need you the most, are going to be suffering or potentially at risk here because blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, stroke, heart disease, these are all the outcomes of long-term chronic stress for a family.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sharma. I appreciate that very much. Angela and Scott, you were both really good enough to have me in your home and to share what the day in the life of is with the Houston family. And that helped me a lot to understand some of your personal challenges. Good morning, guys. Scott,
hi.
How are you? Angela, nice to see you.
Meet
Oh,
you.
it's so nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me into the Houston family. It's got to be a real busy time in the morning. What happens first?
Breakfast.
Breakfast. All right, well, let's see what happens. Let's
Okay.
get started. I'll help out.
We can grab the milk.
Milk, okay,
Yeah.
There's milk in here. The first thing I wanted to get an assessment of as to how their day was going was what was made for breakfast? What was Angela preparing for herself and the kids? Okay. So, yeah, it seems like they're enjoying themselves,
Yeah, they
right?
are. They
Must
love
make
their
you
breakfast.
happy.
Absolutely.
Are you getting hungry yourself?
No, I really kind of want to have my coffee.
Okay, well, let's have a coffee.
So Angela, how do you feel about me sort of going through some of your cupboards and maybe your fridge and giving you some simple advice?
Well, I invited you into my home to help me, so let's have a look.
You're wonderful. Let's go. After breakfast, I couldn't help but ask to see what was in her fridge and what was in her cupboards, because if her goal was to get a lot healthier, there had to at least be the ingredients available to her to switch it up and get her kids and rest of her family and herself eating a lot more fruits and vegetables. Let's go to the first place that most people are attracted to, and that is the cheese and meat drawer. Well, let me ask you this first. On the label, try to find something there that tells us that there's any degree of cheese, these single slices.
Oh my goodness. Modified milk ingredients.
So what does that mean?
That
means it's further refined, they've changed them all around, it's not necessarily...
Water, glucose, so water and sugar. I didn't realize that. Let's just take it out now, and we'll throw it out.
I'm with you. Ooh, the one thing that pops out is all this plastic, right?
Yep.
So I love the fact that you're actually organized, but where is this going? You defying and putting it into a glass bowl before heating it, or?
I try to, but to be honest, usually goes straight to the microwave.
This is the transfer when you heat this up in the microwave, left in this plastic of harmful chemicals into the food, then into you.
Okay.
You don't want to be giving this to the kids or yourself. I also see you've got your vitamins here, right?
Yeah.
So are you taking these daily?
I used to have this regime when I was pregnant, and after the kids, I don't know what's happened to me, Bryce. There's no excuse for it.
Angela, before we go any further, it's imperative that we get some health tests done, okay? So we're gonna get Scott, we're gonna get you guys tested up, all right?
All right.
Excellent, let's go. Beyond the skim the surface on the scale, I needed some blood to assess cholesterol. I went even further, testing for their fat tissue percentage.
Going into the test results, I'm fairly nervous. I know I haven't been eating healthy, and I'm really nervous that I'm gonna get some bad news.
As we just saw, I did some tests to find out how much their health is in danger, and I've got the results. Let's start with Angela. Angela, looking behind me here, there are some very significant results. Your BIA fat percentage is at 44%. 44%. It's too high, okay? Fat tissue is really the issue here. It's not the weight on the scale. It's the fat percent, okay? Surprisingly, your cholesterol, however, is normal. That's excellent, okay? Your cholesterol is 4.5, and it's got to be less than 5.2. So that's very good news. But here's how it all translates. It translates that too much fat tissue causes inflammation. You've got peripheral arthritis. You're in pain. We saw you lifting the children up there, and it hurts, right? It's not just the weight, though. The fat's causing inflammation. So what does this all mean for you? You've actually got to lose 56 fat pounds, okay? Let me just give you an idea as to what fat feels like and looks like, okay? In your hand right now, you're holding a pound of fat tissue, okay? You have to lose 56 of these guys.
Okay.
Think you can do that? Okay.
Yeah.
The good news
in time.
And you know what? You don't want fast and furious. Slow and steady wins the race.
Yeah.
Okay? So, but the reality is this stuff is pulsing through your body, causing all kinds of other problems, including the ones that you're predisposed to that you don't even know you have yet. And you want to be around for your kids, don't you?
Absolutely.
I heard that.
Yeah,
okay?
absolutely.
56 of these. That's our goal. So I'm going to show you guys all how this works in the body, okay? So Angela experiences a lot of stress. And what we're looking at here is it starts in the brain. And the stress hormone called cortisol-releasing hormone tells the adrenal glands that sit on top of your kidneys, pump out cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones make their way through the bloodstream here into your fat tissue. And fat loves cortisol, tells your body, hold on, more fat. Fat grows, and ultimately it's a vicious cycle, tells your brain, eat more. And at the end of the day, and I mentioned to you this already, you see this red, these pulsing yellow hormones here, that's inflammation. So this starts in the visceral cavity, the abdominal cavity, your stomach. Inflammation, fat tissue storing up in that area is what is causing you so much of your problem, your pain, your fatigue, and overall body-wide inflammation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So 56 fat pounds. That's my prescription so far. It gets better, though, okay? All right?
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
I feel overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed? We don't want you to feel overwhelmed. Stress is one of your things. So later on, I'm going to show you how to decrease that stress as well. It's a whole lifestyle, okay? So one step at a time. Let's move on to Scott. Scott, my main concern with you, sir, is your heart.
Yes.
Okay? You are a ticking time bomb.
I don't say that loosely,
Yeah.
okay? Yeah. Looking behind me here, Scott, your body fat is 30%. And you may think, okay, well, that's not all that much. Well, the deal is you've got to be less than 20, okay, as a guy, all right? You're holding a lot of it as well in your stomach. Now, listen, your cholesterol is alarmingly high, 7.4. You need that less, and you heard me say this with Angela, than 5.2. No different than men than for women, okay? And it's not just the cholesterol level, it's your ratio. Your bad is too high, and your good is too low. So I'm going to tell you later how to correct that as well, okay? For now, that translates to you to losing 23 of these, Scott, okay? So feel what that feels like. That's a pound of fat tissue. Now, something else I know about you is you used to play rugby, okay? Rugby player, here's the good news. You have a lot of muscle and muscle memory in your body. So feel that's a pound equivalent of muscle, okay? If we can build on you some muscle, you know, it's not like back to the day, right? I mean, but close to where you were, and lose some fat, you're in the game.
I'll feel good.
You'll feel really good. You guys both up for this?
Absolutely.
You guys up for the challenge?
Absolutely.
I know you are,
Absolutely.
okay? And I'm going to help you guys get there, okay?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. You need to stay tuned because I've got a life-changing plan for the Hewsons and for you.
Up next,
You have to feed yourself before you feed the kids.
easy solutions to help you lose inches.
What do you think's under here?
I know, it's scaring me though.
Coming up next.
Welcome back. Are you stressed out? Do you need to lose weight? Well, who isn't and who doesn't? Like a lot of Canadians, the Hewsons struggle to make their health a priority. But I've got a plan to get them and all of you back on track. Angela, I'm going to get to you in just a minute. Scott, we're going to start with you, okay? You heard me say you're a ticking time bomb. Got to get some things going on here, okay? The world of supplementation, all right? Not that much to do here, okay? I got to get you started on some essential fatty acids, some fish oils. I got to put you on a B complex, and I got to put you on something called vasotensin. And this will lower your blood pressure, decrease your cholesterol, and overall reduce the inflammation, which by virtue of testing, we found in Scott's blood. This is why, sir, you're not just a ticking time bomb, but it's imperative you get onto this right now, right away, so you feel better, okay? It's not shock and awe and scare you to death, okay? Does that make sense? Can you do this?
Yes.
3 simple supplements a day?
Yes, I can.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good stuff. Well, Scott, I'm going to let you go and have a seat in the audience. I got to get to your wife here. We need some alone time, all right? Thank you, sir. All right, Angela, all right, we need to spend some time here, a few minutes to discuss. I know you, like many busy mothers, I mean, triplets is one thing. You're busy.
Yeah.
It's a very hectic schedule, all right? You need to find the time in your schedule for you. All right, so I want to show all you guys something right now. Angela's hectic schedule, okay? So right behind me, here it is. Morning. It's getting the kids dressed, you know, feeding the girls off to daycare, work emails, client meetings. It's work, work, work. More client meetings, more work errands. You let us know this. Evening. Pick up the girls. Eat if you have time. Really?
Yeah.
Eating at 6 p.m.? Okay. Well, bathing the kids, cleaning the house, more work, TV time, right? That might be the only thing you're doing in your day. And then it's off to bed. I don't see any time for you.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
You have to eat first. You have to feed yourself before you feed the kids, okay?
Yeah.
Because otherwise it's useless. You're not gonna have the energy to get through the day. It's simple, basic biology, physiology. So before you even feed, even if it means getting up a little bit earlier, you gotta feed yourself a healthy breakfast, okay? Now, this is your cue. When you feed yourself, you're gonna be taking your supplements because these need to be taken with food.
Okay.
And when you realize you have to take your supplements, you're also going to be thinking, oh, I got to eat too.
Right.
Okay? I need you to start on something called EGCG mixed with CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. Now, it's an extract of green tea, which, by the way, anyone can take. Studies show these are the only 2 natural weight loss supplements that work to lose fat tissue. We know that you have to lose fat.
Yep.
All comes back to losing the fat, okay? Second, something called tyrosine. Tyrosine's an amino acid. And based on your test results, get this, you're always talking about feeling tired and fatigued moving through your day. And it's not just what you're eating. You're actually deficient in this amino acid, which is contributing to lack of metabolism and energy.
Okay.
Imagine that. Okay, so by supplementing with this and giving your body more of that building block to make more energy, it's going to work for your thyroid as well, and your metabolism will go up. Easier for you to drop those fat pounds, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is give you something called 5-HTP. 5-hydroxytryptophan, folks. 5-hydroxytryptophan
precursor serotonin. Follow me on this. Serotonin is the feel-good hormone. It also, when found low in the body, and Angela, you're low. So anxiety and stress is not just vis-a-vis the children and running around and not enough you time. It's also a literal chemical issue in your body.
Okay.
We found this, okay? Now, pill boxes we see in front of us here, these nice, brightly covered little pill boxes. A lot of people freak out, oh my gosh, how do I take all these supplements? Well, you know, I'm recommending them all, making it easier for you by once a week, spending 5 minutes to fill up these little pill boxes with your recommended supplements. That's really easy, right? Convenient, easy. It's all about preparedness, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, right. Let's come over here with me. Have a seat. You really, literally need to take the time to breathe. Okay? Breathing, we know, is one of the best ways to reduce our stress. Who hasn't heard that breathing helps to de-stress us, right? It's very, very important. So I'm going to show you just how effective breathing will decrease your stress. So I'm going to hook you up to this little monitor called an M-Wave. Okay? This device actually tells us how your heart is beating. It's really important to understand this because your heart rhythm, not just how fast it's beating, is a direct correlation to your emotions. I want you to relax, just relax the muscles in your body, let it all go, okay? I want you to visualize some happy place. When you put yourself there, take a deep breath through your nose for 5 seconds. All right, let's do this together. Deep belly breath through your nose. Slow it down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You hold it for 5 seconds and out through pursed lips for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, through your nose, I want you to keep doing that, really relaxed. Okay, think of a happy place, everyone following along, belly breaths, okay? Angela is in a red zone. The longer she stays in this red zone is not good for her body, okay? Stress is high when she's in this red zone. We want her over here in the green zone. Studies show that spending 10 minutes on a device just like this can reduce your overall stress, both physical, mental, and emotional. And studies show that it is equivalent 10 minutes on this device to about 4 hours in real life. And do you see how Angela just shifted just by breathing? She shifted from a very high stress rate to a very low stress rate. The longer she stays there, the more her body realizes, actually, I'm not in any impending doom. I'm not in any danger. I'm going to disconnect you from that. I just want you to know you did a very good job. Thanks. Hands together for Angela. All right, step down, be careful. So you can spend, come on this way, you can spend 10 minutes a day, right? Just relaxing 10 minutes a day. Maybe we'll take it out of that TV time just before watching TV. Well, we'll talk about that in a second. Now, you have a little bit of an issue sleeping, right? Sleeping's a bit of a problem. It is for a lot of folks, you know. Sleep is an issue for a lot of people. Now, the thing to keep in mind, it's not just the duration or how long you sleep, it's the quality of your sleep, okay? I need you to remember quality and deepness is everything. So I put a sleep kit together for you, okay? Now, the sleep kit's gonna consist of 3 things, real easy to do every single night, okay? Get you a deeper sleep. A sound machine. You can set this to anything you like. It could be white noise, could be a spa-like background, chirping birds, whatever you feel good about, okay? It drowns out a little bit of the noise. Now, do any of your twins ever wake up in the middle of the night? My kids do sometimes, making a noise and you think it's all urgent, you gotta run to them. Sometimes, or a creak in the house is settling. Okay, that's disturbing, that wakes you up. It takes time to get back into the deep sleep. So, sound machines help a lot of folks, okay? Drown out the background noise. Number 2, this is called ZenBev. It's a pumpkin seed powder, all right? Smell this. This is really, really nice. Okay, pumpkin seed powder contains a lot of what's called tryptophan. Okay, we mentioned it a little bit ago. Tryptophan, in a different form than the 5-HTP I'm getting you to supplement with, will get you into a very deep sleep and get this, keep you there, okay? Now, this is Epsom salts. You ever tried Epsom salts before? We're gonna put a tablespoon of Epsom salts into a nice hot bath. You're gonna spend 5 minutes in that bath every night. This is you time. It's about you. This is your sleep kit. How does that sound?
It sounds great.
De-stressing.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, come follow me over here. The most important part of all this is from my world where I come from, is, what do you think's under here?
I know, it's scaring me though.
All right, well, no big surprise probably to most folks, diet. Diet is so important to keep inflammation body-wide at bay. It's the pedestal, is what is the foundation of your overall lifestyle and routine. We have to take a break, but when we come back, the 7 foods you need to eat right now. You'll be surprised.
Up next, the 7 most deadly foods that are killing us right now.
It actually robs your body of the nutrients you need to heal.
And the 7 foods that could save your life.
She can make this in 3 minutes. It's extremely easy to cook.
Next.
It's amazing how powerful food can be. It has the ability to heal and to kill. Here to walk us through this is our nutritionist, Julie Daniluk.
Yeah.
You know firsthand the power of food. I mean, you
do.
wrote the book on this quite literally, and you're my go-to nutrition girl. So walk us through this. Look, tell us about your 7 most deadly foods, the foods we gotta get out of our diet.
Well, there's definitely a theme going, right? You've got your white crackers, your white bread, your white potato chips, your white French fries, your white popcorn that's laden with the trans fats. All of these foods are stripped of their nutrients. And people think of them as empty calories. It's just a treat, it's an empty calorie. No, it actually robs your body of the nutrients you need to heal. So therefore, if you're eating these foods, you have to borrow from your bank of nutrients, like a credit card, to regenerate yourself. And that's why so many people are deficient. That's what's causing the inflammation.
And I can tell you're not excited about this
I'm
at all.
so passionate about it.
You bring up a really good point. And
Yeah.
the first observable thing we hear about, cutting out our beiges is that there is no color.
Yes.
So drive this home for us. What is the lack of color doing to our bodies?
Well, the lack of color really talks to the lack of nutrition, the lack of the antioxidants, the lack of the critical nutrients like B vitamins that we need to actually regenerate ourselves. So I really encourage us to especially stay away from foods that are fried. The deep fried stuff has a real potential to spike inflammation because when you use those omega-6 fats and fry them at high temperatures, you're playing with fire, quite literally.
And that's the name of the game for the Houston family.
Yes.
They got to reduce their inflammation.
Yeah.
That's their problem. Do we have to cut all this out, or can we have any little bit in moderation?
We can have some fun things, like how about the air pop popcorn with some flax oil topping?
Going back to the old school of preparing it, non-microwaved. I hear you.
You got it.
Okay.
Because the microwaved often has the trans fats, which are the deadliest of fats. Because that is...
They're still in this, folks.
Yeah,
Trans fats
they're seriously a problem. And of course, the white flour, know that flour can be a potential allergen, which can really be an issue with arthritis, and that's what we're concerned about with
Absolutely.
Andrea.
So just before moving on, coffee here I see, and I'm a fan of coffee. A lot of
Yes.
people aren't, and coffee gets a bad rap. What's wrong with this coffee? I'd like to see it over here.
Okay, well, the coffee does have high antioxidants if
Yeah.
it's roasted fresh. But if it's stuck in a can and it's sitting there for 6 months, it's definitely rancid.
Okay.
There's oils in coffee, and oils go bad. So again, the big theme is avoid any rancid oil.
And if they're bad, they're causing inflammation. Everyone
You
take
got it.
note. So beautiful,
Yes.
color-laden food.
Love
Okay, I
it.
don't see any beige here. Tell us the power of this stuff. What is this doing for us?
Well, there's 7 serious foods that fight inflammation that we're really going to hit today. We want to eat a rainbow.
We've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple.
Gorgeous.
Everything is here.
Absolutely. So our asparagus, another one of my favorites, that's high in selenium, which is a critical mineral to convert our T4 to T3. I'm really thinking she needs to rev her metabolism up.
And that would be
So
the
this would be
thyroid, folks.
great.
And who
Yes.
cares about stinky pea? Let's be honest. When it's doing this much for your body,
It's
don't
extremely
worry
important.
about the stinky pea.
Yeah, no,
all right?
yeah, very cool.
Not a morning that goes by in my family without eating blueberries,
Blueberries,
right? So,
do you know blueberries actually lower your cortisol? They directly
Good
lower.
studies show.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
So it's
Okay.
so great. And of course, I love the artichoke's awesome liver cleansing food, which is going to be so helpful, especially for
absolutely.
Scott.
If the liver's bunged up, and
Yeah.
especially cholesterol, we got to drive that down. And
seriously cause
artichoke can help
inflammation.
that. Okay.
Okay, and our wonderful zucchini, great. Not only does the skin have anti-inflammatory power, but the actual seeds have plant-sourced omega-3.
Yeah.
So it's so cool that this entire rainbow, and of course my beautiful pineapple, my absolute
It smells so
favorite.
good. I can't get my head out of this.
I wish we could just
It
chew it
smells
down.
so
It's
good.
so
Okay,
good. Yeah,
let's make some
fantastic.
breakfast for the
Okay.
Houston family, okay? Because this is where it starts. Angela's
Yes.
not doing it for herself. The whole family has got to
Yeah.
eat healthier.
Sure.
But breakfast is the key.
It so is. And I want to make sure that the breakfast is something that she will eat with her kids. As she's making something like fun, like porridge with the berries on
Okay,
it.
this is not porridge. This is quinoa.
This is
okay?
quinoa, which
What
is rolled flat, and
Okay.
quinoa is incredible. It has 8 grams of protein per serving. It has 5 grams of fiber. If we put our wonderful hemp seeds, which are outrageously high in fiber and hormone balancing fats, if we put that together, we can actually get 20 grams of protein into her, which
Love
is like
it.
eating 3 eggs.
And more
I
fiber is going
want
to drive
that.
cholesterol down as
You
well.
got it.
What else
So
you put in here?
important.
Because, I want you to bring this message home. I
Yeah.
love spices. Spices is another really
Spices
important
are
thing.
extremely important, especially cinnamon, because it's blood sugar balancing. So good, and also reduces inflammation. So we definitely want to get some of that in there.
And why not? And honey is a natural sweetener.
Yes,
So is
and we
this
wanna get
not
away
bringing it?
from
Because
white
we all hear
sugar.
about sugar driving inflammation up.
Yeah.
Why is honey okay?
Well, raw honey actually has peroxide in it, which kills inflammation. infection. And it's interesting that if you're fighting something off, if you reach for something like that, you're also getting natural pollens, which is going to help reduce allergic load.
And allergies is a form of inflammation in the body, right?
You got it, you got it. So
Okay.
this is the ultimate breakfast, and I want to see that she can make this in 3 minutes. I promise. It's extremely easy to cook.
Excellent. Okay,
Super
good.
fast.
So on to lunch. So this is a really healthy looking breakfast. This is nothing short of excellent and healthy looking lunch. Walk us through this. I see that we're these are
Doing a
not
wrap.
these are not whole wheat. These are rice
actual
wraps.
rice wraps.
Why rice wraps?
I really want Angela to try on going gluten-free. And it's important because there is a real pile of evidence showing that if you're allergic to gluten and you eat it, it can really cause joint inflammation. And I'm wondering whether it's causing additional back pain. So I just want to check if we can reduce the gluten. Also, as we move away from lots of bread and crackers and things, we are also reducing, spiking any sort of blood sugar with carbs.
Back to that beige concept.
Exactly.
You know, there's also healthy, convenient food. You brought some in for us.
Absolutely.
Well, give us some ideas as to what's healthy and fast and convenient, 'cause that's the name of the game.
Well, the breakfast cereal is such a nice idea. When she doesn't have the 3 minutes and she literally has 1 minute, reaching for a gluten-free flax cereal that has an outrageous 7 grams of protein per serving, that's going to be such a great way to feed the kids instantly without relying on Raisin Bran, is it?
Raisin Bran. Scott eats 2 or 3 bowls of Raisin Bran every single day. It's his
and
breakfast, brunch, and lunch, right?
It's the sugar on there is so disconcerting, because as we drive our sugar high, we're going to potentially increase cholesterol and inflammation.
Angela, Scott, you know, I want your feedback here. What do you guys think about this so far?
It's absolutely doable. Absolutely.
Okay.
I like absolutely.
Yeah, it's just taking the time and knowing that we're important enough to do
Making the
it.
effort.
We haven't forgotten about dinner, though,
Yes.
right? So it's time for a break. We're going to show you how to make an easy, healthy dinner that's super quick to make. Stay right there.
Up next, looking to beat the Battle of the Bulge?
I've got a surprise for you guys.
A 5-minute meal for every family.
It is so outrageously
Leave that
easy.
there.
And still to come, the doctor is in.
Please welcome Dr. Mehmet Oz.
Dr. Oz gives the advice you need to hear. That's coming up.
We're back with our nutritionist, Julie Daniluk, who's been showing the Hewsons a life-saving meal plan. Julie, what do you have in store for dinner?
Well, for dinner, we're replacing the white mashed potatoes with whipped turnip, because turnips are outrageously healthy. They actually have only 1/3 the calories of regular potatoes.
Okay, hold on a second. But this is an exception to the plan of no beige, right?
Yes,
so
exactly.
identifying turnips is really important here.
And they have outrageous flavor and incredible nutrition. There's lots of B vitamins in there, which is really important for Scott and for both of you, for stress reduction, but for heart protection as well. So
What
we're
other
gonna-
veggies are we using here? Or
We're just using the mashed turnip
Mashed
with a little
turnips,
bit
okay.
of, you know, people really miss their cream,
Yep.
and they're so used to putting that in. Let's use some coconut milk.
I love this on my porridge in the morning,
so
too.
delicious.
It's very similar texture.
Yeah, exactly.
As
And
it is cream and milk,
And
right?
it has the health benefits, the caprylic acid, the lauric acid, very beneficial for the immune system.
Very beneficial.
And just a little touch of olive oil, so we could get some heart-healthy oil in there as well.
Right, and this is after you've heated it up and cooked
Yes,
it, right?
of
Because you don't
course.
necessarily want to use the coconut
You
oil
got
during
it.
cooking at
Absolutely.
high temperatures.
And
Okay.
I want you to do the manly task of mashing it for
mashing.
me, okay?
Thank you.
keep
Carving
that
a
mashed.
turkey mash.
All right,
If
okay.
only it was just this easy and it showed up in my pot.
We're going to definitely move on to our fish
Okay.
preparation. It is so outrageously
Leave that there.
easy. We've got pomegranate juice. This is clinically proven to reduce inflammation.
True.
And so delicious.
And help stave off prostate cancer.
Incredible.
By the way, 250
Incredible.
milliliters a day to stave off prostate cancer.
And do you know 185 milliliters a day helps to reduce arthritis, which I know you are really concerned about her pain, right?
Yeah, she's got arthritis.
Yeah, so we've got our purple onions,
Okay.
and that provides quercetin, which reduces allergic load,
Absolutely.
really antihistamine. So we're putting in our poaching liquid, And it's really important to poach with juice because the juice actually helps to infuse intense flavor, or a broth or something. A lot of people poach in water.
Yeah, why not
well, a lot
water?
of people want to do water and it has no flavor. It actually pulls the flavor out of the fish.
That makes sense.
This pushes the flavor into the fish. And notice, because I'm using juice instead of high sodium broth, I'm not going to be hurting poor Scott with his sodium-laden other food choices. I don't have a lot to work with here, so
well, listen,
definitely...
This is already looking delicious. I mean, I can't imagine what this is going to come looking out of the stove. Meals that heal is the title of your book. We're not just talking about, you know, losing fat here. We're talking about thwarting whatever disease you may be predisposed to. Okay, that was pretty easy. A couple of steps.
Exactly. This is a 5-minute meal.
And what kind of fish? This is
halibut, and I love halibut because it's rich in omega-3s, but it's also really rich in magnesium, which is really great stress reducer and incredibly important for reducing muscle cramping, because people perceive cramping as pain, and therefore it's really important for her pain reduction. And a really rich source of tryptophan, 90% of your daily needs of tryptophan in a good size serving, which is going to help her relax, right?
So you hear that, folks?
Zen.
Everyone,
Incredible.
Unbelievable. So are we putting anything on top?
Well,
I know we're not
not
saying
yet.
no
we
water.
we want to poach this first.
Poach it first?
Because I don't want to
over
overbake the topping.
Okay.
So we're just going to slide that out. Yeah, put that in there.
No oven mitts. That's safe.
Yeah, definitely.
Luckily,
it's a hot.
That's hot. Yeah, no oven mitts. We got to use the oven mitts
because I love you. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, there they are.
They're right on the side here. Let's
Gotta
not burn
love
ourselves.
television. There we go.
At least you know the foods to lower the inflammation once you've burned yourself. Okay.
So now we've poached this fish.
That was fast.
It is incredibly fast.
Okay.
It's like, yes, exactly. Presto changeo. Gotta love TV. And we are going for the world's healthiest mayo.
Hold on. Oh, I was gonna say, you use mayo? There's no way you use mayo.
It's special mayo. Standard mayo is full of sugar and horrible oils, inflammatory oils. This mayo is full of flax oil and olive oil, which has been shown to reduce the inflammation, half the fat of regular mayo, and it's sweetened with a little bit of apple juice sweetener.
Let's see you do it.
Okay, so we just put that in here.
And I love the way that you're featuring mustard here. Okay, mustard's going in. Mustard, folks, mustard, a teaspoon of mustard a day, I don't care what kind of mustard it is, can actually help stave off Alzheimer's disease.
Incredible, and for good reason, because of the turmeric content.
Yes, that's right.
The turmeric has been shown to really reduce any potential of Alzheimer's, but also inflammation through the whole body. And it's only 5 calories a teaspoon. Please love it up. You can mix those two things together. Then I'm adding some wonderful nutritional yeast, because this is one of the highest foods on the planet for B vitamins, right?
Get it in there.
So, and it tastes like butter.
All right.
It's so good. So you can do this, right? This is a 5-minute meal.
We're
just topping it with a little bit of the topping, and then we're going to actually broil this for
like
just
a hollandaise sauce. It's looking really good.
Remember,
the more color.
Holidays. You guessed it. You're psychic.
There you go.
Amazing.
I did. All right, back in the oven there.
So great. And then thank you for the mitts. Here we go. And we have our finished product. Beautiful. There we go.
How long?
5-minute meal.
5-minute
prep meal. Yeah.
That's incredible. Angela and Scott, I'd like to welcome you guys up to the stage here, okay? Come on up. So we plated this up for you guys.
We plated this up with our wonderful mushrooms, because I know the anti-inflammatory effects of mushrooms are huge with the shiitake mushrooms. So I really hope you like it.
Okay,
there you go.
Scott, I'm really interested to see, especially your taste buds and how... Okay, let's see that here. All right, taste test underway. And is the jury in?
Beautiful.
It's good?
That's lovely.
Yeah?
Great. Very nice.
Scott?
That's lovely.
Wow, excellent. I'm really happy. Julie, you did good. You did good. So,
Very much.
I mean, this is cuisine cooking. I've got a surprise for you guys. All right? I know, Angela, you are a wine connoisseur.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go, sir. You are allowed 4 to 6 ounces of wine every single day. All right?
Great.
That's your treat. It'll also help to relax you in the evening as well, okay? Now, I've also got another surprise
There you go.
for both of you. A dark square of chocolate, or 2, 70% cocoa or higher. A lot of us have heard this already, for heart health, all right? It's also anti-inflammatory. This, by the way, is at the peak of the anti-inflammatory pyramid for what foods you're able to have daily. You guys are more than welcome to this. No more.
Thank you.
Okay? But not necessarily less.
Yes.
Okay? How does that sound?
That sounds
That's
great.
great.
There you go.
Okay?
Yeah.
Cheers.
Excellent. Cheers to health.
Cheers to
Cheers
our
to
new
both of
life.
you guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Julie. We'll be right back. How do you guys feel about that? Hey?
Up next,
Hey, are these products toxic or safe?
Bryce reveals the shocking truth behind your favorite household products. Next.
talking about making healthier choices when it comes to food and our schedules, but we also need to start making healthier choices when it comes to everyday household products. To show you how, we're going to play a game. Paula and Mary from our audience are joining me now, and you're going to use paddles, which are right in front of you. Everyone in the audience has got paddles. You notice on one side it says toxic, the other side it says safe. It is a guessing game, all right? Are these products toxic or safe? All right? Ready to go?
Ready.
You excited?
Ready.
Ah, toxic.
Ready.
Look what she's saying
You're
about
toxic,
you already.
not me.
You guys
She's
obviously,
toxic.
you guys know each other?
Yes. No.
Okay, that wouldn't go over too well if you didn't. All right? No. All right, friends for life?
No.
BFFs? All right, well, let's see what happens after the segment, all right?
Okay.
This is a
All right.
challenge. All right, let's go quickly
Okay.
to question number 1. Who doesn't use shampoo, right? But it's listed in the ingredients in shampoo, something called, and many other beauty products, by the way, something called fragrance, right? Seems pretty generic. Is fragrance, everyone can chime in on this, toxic or safe? Fragrance.
What do you think?
What do you think, guys?
Toxic.
Right?
Toxic.
Toxic? Is that your guess?
Voice.
So fragrance, so the jury's in. Everyone, most of you are saying toxic. We got a very smart crowd here. The answer is toxic. Good. So listen, you know, it sounds pretty benign, but it causes allergies, breathing issues, and it can even contribute to infertility. Okay? Fragrance.
Wow.
All right, next up, we've got triclosan. Triclosan is an ingredient found in liquid hand soap that kills bacteria. That might sound like a good idea, and it is for most of the time, but I'm asking you folks now today, Paula, Mary, and the crowd, is triclosan toxic or safe? In your opinion? Most people are lifting, well, I see 80% of you lifting up toxic. Some of you guys say safe. Mary, you're very into safe today.
Safe.
All right.
I'm into toxic.
Triclosan. Triclosan is toxic. All right? And not everything on Wylde On Health is toxic, okay? But so toxic is the answer. It can disturb or imbalance hormones to the point of causing estrogen-related breast cancers. So be wary, especially if you've got estrogen-related breast cancers, and most are, about 80% of cancers in the breast are estrogen-related. You've got that in your family history, your personal history, you want to avoid triclosan, okay? Next up, toothpaste contains a flavoring agent in it, okay? It's called xylitol. Is xylitol toxic or safe? Xylitol.
Safe.
How smart are you guys?
Woo!
I mean, are you sticking with that?
I'm
Yes.
sticking
You're sticking with that?
Yes.
Okay, Mary's with safe.
Sticking.
Most of you guys are saying safe. It's safe. All right? It's a naturally occurring sugar that your body can do pretty well breaking down, and it does so easily. It manages it pretty well. Here's the thing. When you're buying toothpaste, okay, it's fine to see xylitol there. We just found out that it's safe. But try to avoid toothpaste with fluoride. Fluoride, it seems that we're getting too much of it through our water, through our dentist, and now through toothpaste. It can actually cause bone disease. Too much fluoride is not good, okay? All right, next up we've got BHA, or butylated hydroxyanazole. It's a preservative that can be found in some lipstick. What do you guys think? BHA, toxic or safe?
Toxic.
Toxic. I'm gonna have to make my questions harder next time. BHA is toxic, all right? And here's the down low. It causes the big C. And I'm really upset about this because it's still found in so many beauty products. BHA can contribute to cancer, all right? You have to learn to read your ingredient lists, all right? There's no major overview when it comes to cosmetics. Regulations are just not in place as they should be. Last question, we've got sunscreen and an ingredient that's found within it called titanium dioxide. Paula, Mary, safe or toxic? You've been right for the most part so far. Mary's definitely safe.
Safe.
Paula's a little confused. Yeah, okay.
Maybe toxic.
Titanium dioxide. You guys are mixed. I thought I'd catch you on this one. Here's the deal. It sounds gnarly, but it's safe. Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide, by the way. Good for you.
Yeah.
Titanium dioxide and zinc oxide are physical blockers. Okay, physical blockers that prevent UVA or UVB from damaging your skin, all right? Here's the thing, when you're buying a suntan or sunblock, avoid oxybenzone. That's the one to avoid, okay? Oxybenzone is the most common cause of skin allergies, so you want to make sure you always read your ingredients carefully. Thank you so much, Paula, Mary. It's been a hoot playing with you. We will be right back. Stay right there.
welcome back. It's time for Ask the Experts. Today, we've made a very special appointment for you with one of the most in-demand doctors around. Please welcome via Skype, direct from New York City, the one and only Dr. Mehmet Oz.
Hey, Bryce. Hi, everybody.
Dr. Oz, thank you so much for spending the time with us. We know how busy your schedule is. We have got some very important questions. We're going to get right to it here. I've got Seta in my audience here who's got a question for you. Seta, stand up. Thank you so much for taking the time for a question for Dr. Oz. Go ahead.
Hi, Dr. Oz. I have a history of thyroid problems in my family, and I'm worried that it could affect my heart and what I should do about it.
Well, thyroid problems do tend to run in families. I should point out that there are a lot of environmental factors that impact the thyroid. And one point I should make to anybody listening who's worried about their thyroid is make sure that you're not doing foolish things with your diet. In particular, if you've got gluten allergies, for example, other types of intestinal problems, it'll stimulate your immune system to attack your thyroid. Once you've got thyroid issues, I do worry about the heart, and that's my specialty area, so let me speak to why that happens. The thyroid gland makes a hormone that turns on your metabolism. So if you don't have enough of that hormone, it will actually hinder the ability of the heart to pump normally. So one of the big risk factors we have when we try to do heart surgery on people is if their thyroids aren't working correctly. So if you want to fix your thyroid, which you should do for a lot of reasons, including the fact that it'll make sure that your energy level is right, that you're not gaining weight, that you're intellectually intact, that your hair looks good. Another reason that's a not obvious one but critically important is to make sure that your heart's beating strongly as well.
Absolutely. What do you think about that?
Thank you. Thank you.
Excellent advice. Excellent. Thank you so much, Seta. Have a seat. We've got another question here from Stanley. Stanley, go ahead with your question for Dr. Oz.
Hi, Dr. Oz. My father has high cholesterol and takes a lot of drugs such as Lipitor and Crestor. I was wondering, what are the harms and the dangers of him taking these drugs?
Well, statin drugs are wonderful life-saving drugs when used correctly, and that's the case for most pharmaceuticals. So if you've had a heart attack or have clear dangerous problems with the plaque in your body, then taking statin drugs can be helpful. But I got news for you. We way overuse statin drugs in North America. And the reason for that is that we expect that if we have little transgressions in our diet, have a little kielbasa, if we sprinkle a little bit of a statin drug on it, like the drugs you mentioned, it's fine. But that's not the case. Your body reacts very, very aggressively if you have a lot of saturated fats in your diet. Saturated fats are fats that come from animals in particular, but butter has saturated fat as well, and cheeses has a saturated fat. So if you're thoughtful about the food you're putting in your body, you can generally dramatically reduce the amount of cholesterol, the bad cholesterol in your blood. In addition, if you lose weight, across the board, you will reduce the amount of cholesterol in your body. And only about 5% of people have such strong genetic issues that they absolutely have to be on medications despite doing all the other things correctly. So you think about it in that context, then, and you know that for a lot of cases you can get off the statin drugs, then the risks of it become a little less tolerable. And the major risks that I want to focus on are the ones related to your brain. Because we know that people who are taking a lot of statin drugs sometimes have cognitive function problems. They're not quite as sharp as they used to be. It doesn't happen normally, but it does happen enough that I worry about it. And I always warn my patients about that. And the other big risk factors involve damage to the liver, because these are powerful drugs, and muscle aches and pains, which is why we always give people who have statin medications some extra coenzyme Q10.
I hope that helps, Stanley. You got to get the information over to your father. It's very important information. I think Dr. Oz would agree with me that although you can't change your genes, okay, you're dealt the cards mom and dad have dealt you, but you can modify your genetic expression through good diet and lifestyle, okay? I hope that made a lot of sense. Dr. Oz, thank you so much for joining us. You're magic. And we know you have to get back to work right now, so thank you so much for fitting us in. Listen, next week, I've got the top 10 natural remedies to make you look and feel 10 years younger. And I'm going to launch my new app that's going to change your life forever. Trust me. Thanks so much for watching today. That's it. Be well.